Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to talk about the future of Call of Duty and the difficult decision that this franchise has to make in the very near future. And I also wanted to open up with a question or two. Have you heard anything about Cold War lately? Probably that Hijacked has been added, maybe a little bit about the weapons or characters, but have you seen a top Cold War play? Have you seen a meme come out of Cold War? Have you seen Cold War clips going viral on Reddit or Twitter? And the answer is probably not. Have you seen professional teams going for kill races or challenges in 6v6 multiplayer or just Battle Royale? The answer is obvious. There's not a lot of talk about Cold War or 6v6 CoD. It's all focusing on Battle Royale. So today I want to talk about the future of 6v6 classic Call of Duty. I'm going to focus first on the business and then my personal feelings about it, and we're going to get right into it after this sponsored segment. Have you crushed the Demon Lord yet, taken down the Ice Golem, or ascended to the very top of the Doom Tower? If not, you still have time to get your life in order and play Raid Shadow Legends, which is today's sponsor. Raid has 500 champions, a campaign, dungeons, dragons, clan battles, and PvP, but today I want to focus on one especially hard boss, the Fire Knight. This once proud knight committed regicide at a peace summit and was punished by being magically bound to forever protect his people's loot. He's imbued with elemental magic, supercharged, and very angry, so if you want the good loot, you're gonna have to take it from him the hard way. His giant shield not only reduces damage, but provides debuff immunity for 5 to 10 hits depending on what level you're playing him at. In order to defeat the Fire Knight, you're gonna have to use multi-attack champions so that they'll hit him multiple times and wear down those 5 to 10 hits of immunity. You're also going to have to use speed buffing and debuffing champions so that you're continually moving faster than the Fire Knight, because every time he takes a turn, he's going to heal, so you want to be taking more turns than him. Once that shield is finally down, you can move in your heavy hitters to deal some real damage and let them do what they do. He's a hard boss, but an essential one to master if you want some of the best loot in the game. Me personally, I mostly play PvP. That's kind of my favorite thing right now, and I'm at the next to highest elo in the game. I think the little screenshot you might see might show me like the next to next, like one step lower, because the ladder just reset, so I have to grind back up there again. Raid just added 5 new champions, fusion events, and more because they're constantly adding stuff and improving the game with in-game events. So what are you waiting for? Download Raid Shadow Legends now with my link below in the description, and you'll get Epic Hero Konaru, who's great for the Doom Tower by the way, 200k silver, 1k XP boost, 1 energy refill, 1 ancient shard, and you'll find all of that loot in the upper right hand corner in your inbox as soon as you finish the tutorial. So download, play today, and let's get back to the video. Thank you again, Raid, for sponsoring this channel. They help keep me afloat here, and yes, I really do play Raid Shadow Legends every single day, and I'm pretty high elo in the game. So let's talk about Cold War. As of right now, Cold War has largely been relegated to the game that you play to level up Warzone weapons and then go back to playing Warzone. Even the Cold War Battle Pass and almost everything in it is more Warzone oriented than Cold War oriented. I know you can share most of the content back and forth, but most of the content seems to be designed to be enjoyed in Warzone more than the base game. And Modern Warfare was kind of the same way during the last part of its life cycle too. It's kind of easy to, crack jokes on Cold War and focus on, BR, but at the very end of Modern Warfare, almost everything that it was doing was Battle Royale focused and very little for its core multiplayer game, because I believe that the majority of players are clearly choosing Battle Royale over anything else that Call of Duty has to offer, or, well, really almost any other type of shooting game at least on the market. If you look at what the top streamers are playing, it's gonna be Battle Royale, not just for Call of Duty, but a lot of other games. If you look at what games have the most hype tournaments, it's probably Battle Royale, and then you've got League of Legends. If you want to look at what pro players are streaming right now, instead of fighting against each other, they're challenging themselves to Battle Royale kill races. If you look at what games are getting the big Twitch Rivals tournament in, which ones are getting the sponsorships, or at least Twitch Rivals like tournaments, that's Battle Royale. Even if you look at Call of Duty Mobile, which has a strong 6v6 element and a lot of stuff going on, it's still kind of Battle Royale heavy. That was their bread and butter mode for a very long time. And I say all of this not to insult all of you out there that are still enjoying normal classic Call of Duty. You guys have been the core of this fan base for over a decade now, and you and the people that enjoyed what you play helped build this franchise into what it is today. However, the majority of players seem to be moving to Battle Royale for whatever reason, and that leads us to this difficult decision of what will Activision decide to do with future support for both modes, because there's major risk associated with favoring either side. Let's say they choose to favor Battle Royale and continue to support and expand the BR modes. Unfortunately, if they do this, BR games do not have the longest shelf life. most of them have a sudden burst of popularity and then fade very quickly, and only what I would call the big four have maintained a steady player base, or it continue to exist in a financially profitable way. You've got Fortnite, which is not as big as it used to be, but it's still massive. You've got Call of Duty doing quite well. Apex, which had a ridiculous explosion, then it went to obscurity and now has crawled its way back out and is very stable. And then finally PUBG. PUBG is kind of an odd one. It's not very big in North America, but it does really well in Europe and in a lot of Asian markets, but it's still a lot smaller than where it used to be. But I would say Fortnite, CoD, Apex, and PUBG are the stable battle royales at the moment. Even still, a lot of these games have had big ups and big downs, and they had their maximum popularity spike and then a pretty significant drop off to their stable point, and are in most cases in a slow decline, but from a high point, so it takes a long time to hit zero. It is very difficult to keep providing fresh new battle royale content. Map changes are complex and expensive compared to manufacturing 6v6 content, though we'll talk about that in a moment. Fortnite does better than all of these other games cranking out new content because they have an in-house engine. I mean, Epic owns the Unreal Engine, and that's what they work on, so all the experts are there. And they have an absolutely massive studio, many times bigger than any of the studios managing these other games, and they work them very hard, so they're kind of special. The other games, instead of doing what Fortnite does with the map overhauls, offer multiple maps, multiple offerings, multiple modes, and it kind of splits up the player base a little bit, but that's a problem too because not everybody wants to play all of the maps and all of the modes, especially since some people are very exclusive to one or the other. In the case of Call of Duty, which is what we're talking about, you have people that only play Rebirth, people that only play Verdansk. For Apex, you have people that like the new map, other people like King's Canyon, and PUBG is a ton of different maps, not all of which are very popular anymore. So it's very complicated, and changing or removing a map or a balance in these maps may alienate the player base and push a big chunk of them away, which is very risky. Similarly, in the case of Call of Duty, managing all of these weapons is hard. Comparing to Fortnite, Fortnite puts the guns that they don't want in the vault, and that's just an accepted thing in that community. However, Call of Duty has weapons behind paywalls and behind grind walls and behind cosmetics and unlocks and things that you pay for, so they can't quite so easily vault stuff, and they've also sort of set up a system to perpetually add new weapons to the game without taking any away. So Warzone's balance and weapon count is already complex and high respectively, but it's going to get insanely complex when another Call of Duty game comes out this fall and they add a whole new set of weapons to it again. Not just problematic in that these weapons might have like janky animations and not be well balanced, but just for like a maintenance standpoint, the balance of the game is so tenuous, shifting tiny things can really screw up the meta, like adding the DMR earlier this year, or the AUG for that matter. And it's difficult enough to maintain the game engine and consistency and feel of all the weapons with just 2 games. It's going to be much more difficult with 3, and then the question is, what about the year after that when they add 4 or 5? How long is it going to be possible to continue to provide legacy support for old weapons in Warzone that people may not be able to easily unlock? And how long is it even going to be possible to continue to add new weapons? These are significant technical challenges. And Activision's risk here is that if Warzone loses its popularity, like all battle royales do over time, then Call of Duty as a franchise is going to be done because they're not focusing on 6v6, and the 6v6 player base will be smaller, or at least the Call of Duty franchise is going to be massively downgraded in relevance. So they have to take that risk on Warzone being infinitely popular, and they have to maintain some sort of solution to these technical challenges with adding new weapons into the game indefinitely, plus anti-cheat. I mean, let's be honest, and this game needs anti-cheat like a fish needs water, and if anything kills Battle Royale in the short run, it's going to be the lack of anti-cheat, because I run into hackers all the time. I run into people walling a little bit more than aimbotting, but it's very, very frustrating. Now, let's change hats and imagine that Activision chooses to favor 6v6. If they do that, they're choosing to focus on a shrinking audience instead of a growing one. And I say that not to insult you, but just as a raw objective fact. It would be kind of like a newspaper choosing to focus on their physical paper delivery subscribers and not on their new online subscribers. Perhaps not this extreme, but it gives you the kind of idea. And arcade shooters are trending slowly downwards right now. There's not a lot of like small player count shooting games or battle games that do very well. People are really gravitating toward the big crazy BRs. And if they choose to put their focus on the core classic Call of Duty mode, 6v6, 12v12, 8v8, whatever, it's not the one that has the highest financial potential and not the one that is likely to reach new customers. Then you have different technical challenges associated with maintaining 6v6 Call of Duty. I will say that they are less than for Battle Royale. At least that's because the studios know how to make a campaign, multiplayer, big team modes, and some form of co-op. Co-op will almost certainly be zombies indefinitely from now on. It just does the best and is the most popular. I don't think you're going to see much else. But while there may not be a lot of crazy technical hurdles in doing this, because the studios have all been doing this for a long time and it's their core competency, and they could more consistently make a clean, polished product, it is oddly more expensive because to do Battle Royale, your main cost is just the server load. And then you do, while it is a complicated project, thankfully there's developer efficiency and that you're all working on the same thing. When you're doing brand new game launches in multiple modes, you have to have a campaign team, you have to have a co-op team, you have to have a multiplayer team, you have to have a big team mode team, then you have to have like managers to integrate all of this. All of the stuff has to flow together, the assets have to share, and you have to hire more artists to make more individual stuff on the maps. You have to record and generate new assets for all of these maps, and that's not even factoring in all of the voice acting, motion capture, rigging, custom CG animation, music licensing, and really fancy stuff that you have to do, mostly associated with the campaign. And in this case, there's a lot more fixed cost or sort of startup cost to do that. If you're going to get the big actors, if you're going to do the motion capture, if you're going to make the nice campaign, there's a fixed cost that you have to have there, whereas for Battle Royale, you're maintaining servers. Or if you're going to make 12 new multiplayer maps, you have to get those art assets, you have to get the layout, you have to get the map designers on it, versus Battle Royale, you're just changing one section of the map. And I think that changing one section of the Battle Royale map is probably harder than making a new map from scratch, but it may actually be cheaper since you can reuse older assets. So even if all of these things are things that the studio's good at, it may oddly cost more to develop for 6v6 than Battle Royale with less potential. So I think in the future, COD's going to choose Battle Royale. And I've kind of hit you this from like a business analyst perspective, like if I were a consultant to come in and tell them what to think about. But right now, I want to take a moment to talk about my feelings, your feelings, because we're discussing the very soul of Call of Duty, a franchise that I've been playing for about a decade now. And it's kind of at a crossroads. It has to decide what it wants to be, where it wants to go, because I don't think it can continue being everything to everyone. Call of Duty as a game has always been everything to everyone. It's got mobile components, it's got a campaign, it's got a co-op thing going on, it's got side missions, it's got DLC, it's got Battle Royale, it's got multiplayer, it does a Battlefield-like thing in Modern Warfare. There's so much happening with Call of Duty. Even you get the arcade mode for zombies. You have alternative zombies modes, zombie versus, zombie BR kind of stuff going on now. There's so much happening that I've said this every year, and every year I guess I get to be wrong. They can't maintain all of that. But the big thing that's happening right now is that more and more people are moving away from everything else and towards Battle Royale. So Call of Duty has to choose if it wants to be a Battle Royale franchise or the more of the everything that's not Battle Royale and maybe barely maintain the Battle Royale franchise. It has a pivotal decision to find its own way forward and to try to pick the smartest thing for the long term. So I think this whole decision boils down to, is Battle Royale a fad or is it a permanent thing? If Battle Royale is going to be a permanent thing that we're all going to be playing for the next 10 years and we're going to love it, then I think Activision is going to choose Battle Royale. If Battle Royale as a genre is on its way down, if it maybe is a long-lasting fad but still a fad and not going to be here, and they choose Battle Royale, then I think that what will happen is BR will shrink, then COD will shrink, and after neglecting the 6v6 crowd, it's going to be a smaller franchise. So difficult decision, but it all kind of comes down to what's the trend for Battle Royale. Guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful, even if a lot of it's just my opinion. And if you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.